Hey and welcome. Brink-Castleberry here, and today I want to introduce you to a plugin that I've been beta testing for a while and I haven't had a whole lot of chance to say anything about, but it's just come into a full release version and I'm excited to get to introduce you to it because it brings a lot of power to what we're doing with WordPress. Now here I am signed out of this particular blog post and I've scrolled down to the comment section. And in my comments section, you'll see that I see profile and I'll see that I can sign in with Twitter or Facebook, or I have the traditional WordPress commenting fields. I have the traditional fields here. And in addition to having the ability to sign in with Twitter or Facebook, I also have access to Comment Love through Comment Love's own plugin. But what's fascinating here is that most commenting system replacements completely blow this form apart and do not utilize the native commenting system. So that means that you don't have the traditional fields and you can't utilize things like Comment Love with them. And you can't utilize other plugins that depend on the native commenting system with them. And so you lose all this leverage. Now, what would be the advantage of having this going on besides just the sign-ins? Let me scroll down and show you something neat. In this particular post, if I come down to the comments available, we see that there are 12 comments, 11 tweets, 0 by Facebook, and 0 pingbacks. Now, 0 pingbacks is because I have that disabled. That's okay. But 0 Facebooks isn't such a big deal. But 11 tweets actually showing up in the Twitter stream. This is powerful, and I'm going to show you more about this in a minute, but I want you to pay attention to this. Here I come down, and I see all the comments in a row, but I see here that the first comment has a Twitter ID and is actually a tweet. Then the next one has a bubble and is actually a bubble, which is actually a comment. And then I come on down one further, or a couple further, I get through the comments and I got tweets, and I come on down and I have the ability anywhere in line to jump in here and do a typical reply string. So that means that this system also supports the threading that we're used to on the native WordPress commenting system. And it actually threads very nicely. It doesn't tuck in very far. Here you can see where Simon asked about Animoto, and you can see that this is tucked in. This is a reply to Simon. Now, it doesn't tuck in as far as I would like, but it still handles threading just fine. Really, really happy about this. And I can sort it. So if I come back up here, whoops, get out of that. Oh, that's where I hit reply. Come back up here, and I can come to view just the tweets, and it highlights out the ones that are the tweets. And I can view just the comments, and here's the comments. So what this means is that there used to be a script called Tweet Catcher or Chat Catcher that was able to look out at what Twitter was doing and to look for tweets of your link and to bring them into your WordPress as a comment so that they were preserved as eternal social proof rather than the very transient social proof as they flow down the stream. This effectively generates them as comments and lets them remain in your WordPress database forever. This is huge. This has been so incredibly powerful for me, and I've been excited to get a chance to tell you about it since this plugin was in version 1. However, in version 1, if you had a chance to check this plugin out, it was pretty flaky. It had a lot of problems going on, and if you asked me about it, I probably dodged the question because I didn't really want to answer for just how broken this plugin was at times and on certain systems. But I had a chance to work with the guys over at Crowd Favorite and the guys at MailChimp who are working collectively to bring this plugin out. And Alex King is the primary developer behind this, and I got a chance to look at the beta copies of 2.0, and I've been beta testing the 2.0 version for a while now. And it just rolled to the 2.0 stable release, and I highly recommend it. It is an incredibly cool plugin. So let's go have a look at what it's doing in the dashboard. Here I am in the WordPress dashboard of a test installation, and I'm just going to go to Plugins, Add New. And we're going to go to Install, and we're going to go to Social. I'm going to type in the term social. And when this comes up, you can see my internet being a little sluggish today. We see the plugin's name is Social, and we see it is by Crowd Favorite, okay? And it also mentions that currently it's being co-developed by MailChimp. And although I'm not real certain why, because it doesn't actually seem to interface anywhere with MailChimp at this time. There may be stuff upcoming, but at this point it does not utilize a MailChimp account anywhere that I've been able to find. Now, you come on over to Install Now. We're going to install this plugin, and it installs like any other standard WordPress plugin. No real fuss. Click on Activate Plugin. And once the plugin activates, we're going to find the settings in two different areas. We're going to find them in the main settings for the plugin, and we're also going to find settings in our profile for the plugin. And the reason that there are settings in the profile is that this plugin will handle there being multiple authors on the same blog. So we're going to set up defaults, but we also have profile options. So it says requires an upgrade. This is probably doing something with the database real quick. First time I've, okay, there we go, fresh install. Now we are under Settings, Social. So come to your Settings, Social. It should have taken you there, but if it didn't, that's where to find it. And we're going to connect some accounts. So now, once you've connected with Twitter, it's a pretty straightforward connection. Connecting with Facebook, however, you probably want to check Connect with Page Support before you click the Sign In with Facebook, so that it authorizes it to have permission to publish to your pages, because this is where we're going to get the most leverage out of this plugin if you're utilizing Facebook. So you've connected that, signed in, given it permissions. It's going to require quite a bit of permissions because it's going to have to be able to write stuff and retrieve stuff for us. Okay, so it's going to take quite a bit of permissions. You're just going to have to roll with that and look and see if that's acceptable with you. We come down here. Once that's done, now we have whether broadcasting is on or off by default, whether when a post publishes, whether by default it's going to try to broadcast it to the social networks that we've given it connection to. I use that as on. Now for default accounts, I have checked my Twitter account, and I have checked my page, but not my profile. Okay, and you'll see that that is where I do most of my social marketing and most of my social tech stuff, and that I use my page, my profile very differently. So I don't auto-publish there. Now I'm going to come on down, and we have post-broadcast format. You might want to look at this because by default, this may contain the content. At one point in time it did. And I prefer this as title URL. And that way it has the title and the URL, but doesn't crop off this long string of content when it goes to Twitter. Okay? Since we don't have the ability to use a different excerpt or a different broadcast format for Facebook versus Twitter, we need a format that's going to work for both. And for me, that is title and URL. Content just isn't working in here. You might try playing around with date, but it uses such a long string format that it's just not really friendly. Comment broadcast format, how would you like the comments to be formatted when they're broadcast to Twitter if you use that? And if you have a Twitter Anywhere API key, you can go ahead and set that up here. There's some advanced options, whether it'll fetch new comments. I have that set to automatically. And then if you need debug mode, it says nerds only, and they're not joking. Just leave debug mode off unless you're asked to do something. Click Save Settings. Now, if you're a single author blog, you might not need to go do this, but we're going to have a look under your profile. I'm going to click on your link, your profile. I'm going to open up your profile, and we're going to scroll down. And here you can see the social accounts for your profile. And you might adjust this if you're on a multi-author blog where you might have different networks than somebody else. And again, here, whether we have it with page support or not. And again, I'm going to uncheck my profile. And we're going to update the profile here. So we're just going to leave that. Now, I'm going to come into posts. And we're going to add a new post. Oh, no, actually, I don't need to add a new post. Let's just do that. Let's add a new post. And we're going to do sample post, sample content, okay, post title. And here on my right-hand side, you see that I now have social broadcasting on and off. And I have publish, but I also have schedule so that we can schedule the post. This is all standard, right? Well, fortunately, the social plugin now, as of version 2.0, is smart enough to handle scheduling. Initially, it was not, and if you tried it prior, you might have noticed that scheduled posts just wouldn't broadcast, and you'd have to come back in and do them by hand. But now, if you schedule a post, it will accept the scheduling of the broadcasting, and will broadcast as the post is published. Very delightful, very easy to use. So if I set this up that I'm going to schedule this for like 2 days from now, I'm going to use this because I don't want it to publish to my blog. I would confuse everyone. And I'm going to click schedule. And when it goes to schedule, because broadcasting was on, it's going to ask me to set up this tweet and this Facebook share. So here's my tweet, and you can see that we are title, URL, and it uses the short post URL, the post URL slugs from your blog, and then we are, post title and URL. And we can also change here. See, the defaults are checked, but I can also still add my profile in if I wanted to. This is very handy. And at that, I would just click schedule. And once I click schedule, it comes back out. Now the post is scheduled, and when this publishes, it will be shared to Twitter and Facebook. Let's have a look at what that looks like. I'm going to come out to Hootsuite, and I'm going to come over, and I just published a post a little bit ago, and so I'm going to find it here. Here it is. I have one that says 7 simple profit strategies for Facebook marketing. And notice that the stamp says social proxy by MailChimp. This is the stamp that this application uses. Okay, this is using their API stamp, and so that's what you're going to see there. And then on Facebook, if we come out, we can see here that I have a post. Again, here it is, same one, 7 simple profit strategies for Facebook marketing. And the URL, and it opens the thumbnail very nicely. This handles, it's all formatted right. We see the application stamp, and that the application is social proxy by MailChimp. Now, again, it is another application publishing to Facebook. It's not 100% authentic engagement. We're not really going to go into the merits of EdgeRank and things here. I will say one thing that I like about using this at the moment is that unlike publishing with network blogs or RSS Graffiti or Hootsuite, which everybody's using at the moment, at this moment, not a lot of people are publishing with this. And so it's not often that it gets collapsed in the stream. And it's not often that it gets where people would have to open like 12 posts to see it at all. So when you can publish with a unique application ID, you're actually going to get more eyeballs on something than publishing with an app ID that everybody's using. So at the moment, this is a really cool application to be using because not everybody's using it. It's functioning very well. Now that it's published out, and this only works for posts that have published out, now that it's published out, it will start to monitor for engagement. And so what it will do is that you saw that I shared this 7 simple profit strategies post. I don't know that that one's been looked at yet, but we'll see that we've got some people that have shared that post. In about an hour or two, and sometimes it's longer, I don't really know what the cycle is, in a little bit of time, the server, your hosting server, is going to trigger that plugin, and it's going to look out at Twitter, and it's going to say, has this tweet been shared? And it's going to find the instances of the same URL. It doesn't have to be a retweet of this post of this exact tweet. It just has to be a retweet of the post URL itself, okay? It's looking for the native URL. It does a really, really good job of this. In fact, it does a better job than other plugins that I'd used that attempted to do similar, which were only able to get a retweet of the first tweet. This will get any instance of this tweet when it's shared. And it will trigger those, and they'll come in just like comments. You'll see them as comments. They'll come through your dashboard. You'll have the ability to moderate them. Same as that. It works out really handy, and it tucks them in line. The same goes if there is additional engagement with this. If I get some comments here, they're working to get to this to bring in the comments. I've not seen that to be working 100% yet. It also can't get when other people share this URL because generally it's not public, and there's not a public way to do that. And helping you really generate some more permanent social proof on these posts than just the very transient social proof that quickly goes down the stream and quickly is lost as social media moves so fast, and as Facebook and Twitter are here today and gone tomorrow with relevance to what was just shared. It's a really powerful plugin. I've been absolutely thrilled with it. It supports most of the plugins that are made to work with the WordPress commenting system. Andy Bailey from Comment Love spent some time and carefully adapted Comment Love so that it would work with this plugin. And there will be plugins that don't work with it. You're going to find that. That's the case with all WordPress plugins. There will be instances that not everything that affects the plugin field is going to work with this plugin. But so far, I've been really thrilled with it. It's worked with what I've needed to. It's brought me a lot of flexibility. People like that ability to use that Twitter sign-in and that Facebook sign-in, which surprised me. I was really surprised that being something other than the non-native Facebook commenting system, since this is not the actual Facebook commenting system, it's just kind of implementing it, that people would still be inclined to hit that button. And people still are. People would still rather hit that than actually still type out their stuff. So it's making people happy. People are enjoying it. I'm getting tons of social proof. It's really stable. You're going to like the WordPress social plugin for WordPress. Give it a go. And if you're not already signed up for my mailing list, be sure to jump on. Be sure to subscribe. There's a box somewhere around this page, either below the video if you're viewing this on my blog, or jump out to my blog, and there should be a login in the side or opt-in in the sidebar as well. And I'll see you there. I look forward to getting to know you and helping you stay up to date on what's current in social trends today. Brink-Castleberry with JustAskKim.com, and I look forward to your comments below.